So Brad, you've been working with ShoppinPal as an investor for a few months. I would just wanted your take on how you see the company being positioned for growth and capturing the market across the few spaces we work in: retail, hospitality, F&B tech.
For me, it was just seeing that we're talking about thousands of apps and POS systems and different programs and that need to be knit together in the hospitality ecosystem, and no one is really solving that problem. And every time I talk to Saram and hear about a new partnership with GoDaddy or Yelp or Toast, we uncovered 10 or 20 other opportunities or more. So it's just when I see a market that is so completely unaddressed, it just seems like potentially it is an enormous opportunity.
So do you think that the market timing is right across all of these areas? Because these spaces have been dormant, there's been a lot of old technology that's sitting there. What's your view on, is this the perfect time to go capture the market, or is it maybe going to take a bit longer?
I think it's a good time. I think part of that is driven by all the food delivery, the ghost kitchens. I mean, there's just been this massive shift, and it's kind of enabled these very successful large, flip dishes of the world that are growing rapidly, and that Toast, which went public recently, that really need that have integrations as with a huge backlog of integrations that are that need to be addressed somehow, and I think ShoppinPal is uniquely positioned to do that.
I have one other question, because you've been an operator in a restaurant, successful, franchise, and you've been in the space for a long time. There's also this reality that there's a tremendous labor shortage across all of these areas, especially in the restaurant space. How do you think that is going to drive the need for automation and integrations, and how is that going to have an upstream effect on the apps that are serving these guys?
I mean, I'm seeing automation as a major theme in QSR and really all hospitality. I've made a bunch of investments out of my fund in robotics and Miso Robotics, for example, that is essentially helping restaurants automate parts of back of the house. But I think in all stages, in all aspects of running restaurants, running hotels, you're going to see automation because, like you said, there's a labor shortage, labor costs are going up, and there's a lot of incentive to automate folks out of the labor equation.
Okay, so talking about the size of the opportunity, right? It's always tricky when you look at a space and you're trying to say how many restaurants, retailers, number of hotel rooms, etc. And it's a classic problem that a startup runs into. Say, truly, how big is this opportunity in the next 5 years? Like, what's your take on that? If you were to ballpark it, or use any other back of the envelope model, do you think it's a 1 billion, 10, or much bigger than that?
I think it's a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. I mean, what's the size of the entire restaurant, hospitality, hotel ecosystem? We're talking about hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars a year. And this, you take a small percentage of that, and that's a massive TAM. I like the analogy of Plaid, in terms of fintech. Look at the explosion of fintech apps that Plaid has enabled, and I think ShoppinPal is doing the same thing in the hospitality ecosystem.
That's a great analogy you brought up, because Plaid has reached a milestone now of crossing 15 billion in valuation, just cracking this with banks and financial institutions. So would you think that we're talking about 3 different verticals here, that this could actually be an even bigger opportunity then?
Certainly could be as big. The opportunity is like I said, not just to build $1 billion enterprise software company. We're talking tens of billions of dollars. So it's just in terms of the size of the company now, it's just a massive opportunity for investors and partners alike for ShoppinPal.
Thank you, Brad. This was super helpful.